Hello friends, this is your lecture video for Essay 4, the Characterization Essay for English 102. For this essay, you will be writing a characterization essay in which you analyze a character from the text In a Grove by Ryan Osuki. To analyze a character, you must find what makes him or her tick. So look at the character as you would anyone you meet for the first time. Analyze them. What are they? By their actions, they are what? And then, so in doing that, while you're reading the story, you want to mark all of these things, right? Their physical traits, psychological or personality traits, their motivations, their behaviors and actions, their relationships with other characters in the story, how others see or react to him or her, their weaknesses or faults, their strengths or virtues, their moral constitution, whether they are the protagonist or antagonist in the story, any history or background that the character may reveal, and then also the change that the character makes through the plot. So your topic for this essay is to analyze one character, a character from the text In a Grove, to determine the theme of the story through one of the characters and their character traits and actions without summarizing the text. So your thesis stem is the character blank from the text In a Grove by Ryan Osuki can be described as blank, comma, and blank to prove. And then you will have at the end of that where the ellipses are your theme and your universal outcome. Remember that you need to write this essay from the reader's perspective, not your own. Your main goals for this essay don't change at all from essays 1 to 3. You need to focus your essay with a strong thesis statement that shows the scope of the assignment as outlined above. So please make sure you are using this thesis statement at the end of your introduction. You want to collect 3 quotes of words, thoughts, or actions from the character of your choice that demonstrate the character trait you claim the character has. So you're going to have 1 quote per paragraph that shows, let's just say you decided so-and-so character is angry. Okay, well, what do they do that in the story that shows anger? What do they say that shows anger? What does the author reveal about that character that shows that they are angry? So you can't just say that someone has anger. You have to prove that they do through their words, thoughts, or actions in the text. Essay should show rather than tell, just like I just explained. Topic sentences for body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 should validate and mirror the thesis statement, and those are always found on the How to Write the Essay document. You need to create 3 organized body paragraphs that focus on 1 main point each and divide your essay into manageable sections for your reader. So you wouldn't want to pick 2 character traits that are similar, because then you would have 2 alike paragraphs. So make sure that you're picking 3 different character traits that show specifically different things that your character has or does. Okay? Introduction and paragraph structure will stay the same. Going back to main goals, make sure you have 2 sources. Remember, 1 is the author's biography in the introduction, and then you have to have the text in each of your body paragraphs. No sources in the conclusion. Please make sure you use multiple examples and explanations to prove and highlight your topic sentences in each one of your paragraphs. Arrange your traits in a logical manner with supporting information that relates to the trait with sufficient details. So what that means is that you want to put the traits in order of how they are seen throughout the text in your essay. Each paragraph should highlight the trait and actions individualism by making a meaningful point. Each paragraph should be a minimum of 8 to 10 sentences. Do not take a stance or provide examples or explanations that contain your own opinions. You can definitely use what other characters think about that character in your essay, but not what you think or the reader thinks about that character. The complete essay should be written in 3rd person point of view, so please do not use I, me, you, your, we, us, or our in any of your own analysis or paragraphs. Again, do not write with contractions, and use your critical voice to explain and describe your topic. Please make sure all of your essays fall follow all MLA guidelines. There is an MLA video in Blackboard should you need that, or if you've forgotten how to do MLA. This is super important. I cannot even give you a 70 if you do not follow the guidelines for format. Always, 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 you should write your essay for an educated audience, informed audience who is not in this class and may not be familiar with the terms or examples that you may use. You will need to summarize key ideas, define any terms that might not be familiar, and choose appropriate diction to help your reader understand your topic. Here are some good character analysis, like some questions that you need to ask yourself while you're reading the story. Choose a character that plays a dynamic role in the text. You don't want to choose a background character. That doesn't really do you any good. Reread the story with your character choice in mind. How does the author describe them? What kind of relationships does your character have with others in the text? How do the actions of your character move the plot forward? And what struggles does your character encounter in the text? Going back to your thesis stem, when you're looking at your map, what you'll want to do is copy your thesis stem and put it directly on your map in the thesis statement box. Okay? You may have to make that a little bit bigger. Remember that what comes after prove would be theme, right? Theme leads to or causes, and then whatever you want your universal outcome to be. Okay, so make sure you have a full thesis statement that includes all three of your character traits. Then you're going to put character trait 1 here. You will put character trait 2 here, and then character trait 3 here. Okay, so all you'll have to do, like if we just said angry, or oh, hello. If we said maybe suspicious, or envious. I'm just making these up. Okay, if we have these three, that would say angry, suspicious, and envious in order of those. Okay, so here for the main idea, you're going to put the theme that you chose, and then here you will list the name of the character. Okay, for the examples, these relate. This top one would relate to whatever trait you have in the top box. This middle one will relate to whatever you have in the middle box, and this bottom one will relate to what you have in the bottom box. So the example, summarize this in your own words. Okay, the quote should be the text states, comma, open your quotations, put your direct quote, and then the last name, Ryanosuke, goes in the parentheses with the period on the outside. Then your commentary always comes from your how to write sheet, which looks like this here. This example proves that blank is blank because. So on your map, you can go ahead and start that. This example proves that, and then you will put the character's name in the first blank, is, and then you will put the character trait in the second blank, because, and then now you explain why this character is angry based on your example. So now you have to analyze the example to show that this person is angry. Okay, so you'll do that 3 different times. So let's go ahead and look at the how to write sheet and go over that really quickly. This is all about essay 4. So some possible themes for Enna Grove are pseudo-translation, inscrutability of psyche, guilt, greed, ugliness, poverty, and extramarital affairs. So the 3 characteristics that you choose should lead to whichever theme you choose. So if I'm going to choose poverty, I might choose character traits like sadness or gullibility or things like that that I could directly link to the theme of the text. So after you've chosen one theme from above, find 3 examples from one character from the text and write them in your boxes on your map. To write your thesis, think. From the 3 examples I have chosen that point to the theme, what characteristics does this show of the character that I chose? So here's an example. Tajaramoru believes that life is insignificant and lies to get his way. So I think that shows that he is manipulative, okay? So once you figure out what character trait, you're going to put that in your box. Essentially, for this essay, you'll be working backwards to figure out what points to make that are meaningful and create the most commentary. So you need to look at the examples first and then decide what character trait that shows, okay? Look at the examples first and then show what character trait, okay? Number 3, then what does the theme lead to or prove? So here's my working thesis statement as an example. You cannot copy or use this thesis statement or my topic sentences. You need to change it to fit your own. So I chose Tajaramoru from the text In a Grove by Ryan Suki. Can be described as manipulative, ruled by his lust, and resourceful to prove that greed provokes people to make negative choices that can often harm the lives of others. Okay, so you see that I have my theme and then my universal outcome of the theme. Basically, this does not change at all from the other 3 essays that you've written before. Your topic sentence will be the character that you chose can be described as blank for many reasons in the story. Then explain what's going on before the example you just shared. Give the background information. Then number 3 is state your quote from the text. In the text it states, comma, and then this is where you give the quote from the text and include the in-text citation at the end of the sentence before the period. Number 4 says this example proves that blank is blank because. Now you explain. Move away from the examples of the text. Now you should write about how and why this trait affects the character, the decisions it makes them do, how they are perceived by other characters in the text, etc. Notice that this section should be at least 3 to 5 sentences. Number 5 then goes back to the theme and the universal outcome in the thesis statement. Number 5 should start, this example also can be linked to the theme of poverty or whatever you choose because. Now explain. Show how the example can be linked to the theme of the text and how this can be related to the theme's outcome in the thesis statement. Whatever you say in the thesis statement has to be proven in each body paragraph with the example also. That's why it's very important for you to look at the examples first, then decide your character traits, and then decide your possible theme. Work backwards for this one. Then number 6, please don't forget to do your conclusion on each of your body paragraphs. Just restate the topic sentence. You can say blank can be described as blank for many reasons, or for many reasons blank can be described as blank. Okay, you will do the same thing for body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3. Notice on your outline is in the exact same format as the How to Write paper. So please follow what it says on the How to Write sheet. Okay, put exactly what's here over here and fill in the ellipses or blanks. So all of these things, you have 6 blanks here and you have 6 blanks here, so make sure that they all line up and they say exactly what each of them is supposed to say. Okay, here's some helpful tips. Write your full essay in present tense. Do not use past tense verbs when you are writing about or analyzing a story. Do not use any first or second person pronouns. That includes I, me, we, us, you, your, or our. Think about how and why the character makes the choices they do, not necessarily what they do. Remember, I've already read this story, so I want to know, in the reader's opinion, why do they do these things? Okay? Why are they angry? Why are they envious? Why are they whatever you say they are? Every paragraph should have at least one quote from an with an in-text citation to the Works Cited page. Your body paragraph should be the author's last name. Your other citation, which is in the introduction, should just list the editors of Encyclopedia Britannica, because that is where we're getting the biography for this author. Please do not use in conclusion in your paper anywhere. All right. The last thing I want to do today is go over the introduction structure again, because I'm still seeing people not follow directions there. So I'm going to show you on the outline again how that's done. So please literally copy what I'm putting down here so that you can get this correct and not have to lose so many points, okay? So the first thing says define the theme of the text. That's 1 to 3 sentences. So if I go back up here to the top of this page and I look at all these themes, the one that I chose for my example was greed. So my very first word must be greed. Greed is, then I'm going to define this in my own words. This should again be 1 to 3 sentences here, okay? So greed is, maybe you want to show how greed is used in the world, or how people view in general greed. Okay, the next thing you have to do is link the author and introduce the text title. So literally, you're going to use these words. Whatever theme you chose can be found throughout many short stories. One in particular please make sure you spell his name right. Okay, all right, so you've got your link from the theme, because you're going to put theme right here. Like if I said greed, I would just put that right there again. And then now I have also introduced the title and the author. Notice that the title and the author does not appear in the first part of the introduction at all, okay? Now you're going to give biography information that pertains to the theme of the text. So we can say something like, experienced, okay, and then find whatever quote you want. Remember, at the bottom of this document, it told you what should be in the in-text citation. It's the editors of Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, period on the outside. Now, summary of text, this should be 2 to 3 sentences. So, the short story, comma, in a grove is about. Now you tell me what that story is about. And then your thesis statement should be copied from whatever your map said. I'm going to use mine because mine's already listed. Okay, so there you go. That's exactly how your introduction should be. It should not be any harder than that. I mean, literally use this as a template for your introduction as well. Popping in, obviously changing whatever theme you chose, and then your own thesis statement. Okay. All right, if you have any questions about Essay 4, please let me know. All the due dates are in Blackboard and on your course calendar and on your assignment checklist. So please let me know if you need any help.